Hello and welcome to Beat 'em Up Wrestling. We are talking Victory Road, Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, I like tonight. Tonight was good.
Yeah, it was a nice little like not a big pay-per-view, but it helped set up their Bound for Glory.
Mm-hmm.
So yep.
I think the girls had probably, I don't know, some of the strongest matches tonight. What do you think?
Yeah. I think their women's division always has the best storylines going on there.
Yeah, definitely. I was very impressed by both women's matches, and some of the guys' wrestling matches are pretty funny too. Some of them are good. We'll get into it, but yeah, it was overall it was a good night of wrestling.
Yep. All right, so I think we're ready to start. Going into the card. So the first match was the Rascals versus Triple XL. This was two different styles of wrestling clashing.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was good for what it was. It keeps the Rascals in the tag team storyline.
Yeah.
But it didn't really add on to anything much more than that.
No, and to be honest, like I'm just gonna be honest, the feed was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, laundry. Forgot to turn that off. Yeah, the feed was pretty bad at the beginning. I'm not sure if that was just how the recording was because immediately afterwards, when they went to Madison and Josh, the feed smoothed out itself.
Yeah.
But man, was it kind of difficult to watch for a minute there. Unfortunately, because as you guys all know, the Rascals are like one of my favorite tag teams. So, well, 3-man, just in itself. So I was a little saddened by the fact that I didn't really get to watch it. It stuttered a lot, but there was some good moments in the match too, from what we could see. But like you said, it really didn't tell us. There's really no big storyline between the two. So I don't know. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, it was really hard just to get into just because of the lag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Made me sad. Mucho sad.
Yeah. But I'm glad that they actually fixed the feed after this. And we get the Brian Myers Tommy Dreamer. Brian Myers beats Tommy Dreamer in this one. Not a big surprise, but it will set up for a match on Tuesday. And I believe it's going to be a hardcore match because that's what they were kind of setting up to.
Yeah.
Tommy Dreamer and Brian Myers have a story that goes all the way back to when Brian Myers was first wrestling. Tommy Dreamer is actually the one that got Brian Myers hired in WWE, and they're playing off that history with this storyline.
I enjoyed it because who was it? Was it Moose that had the match between Tommy Dreamer last time? Yeah, it was just one of those things where it was too hardcore, and I felt like they weren't taking care of Tommy Dreamer as much. And Brian Myers, he definitely highlights what Tommy Dreamer can still do, and the matches are not bad. Sometimes they can go bad, you know what I mean? Like, not saying that he's old, but he's a little older.
Yeah.
And sometimes the matches don't always go as smoothly or as entertaining as you would want them to be. So I appreciate the fact that there's a story here and that it's actually wasn't a bad match.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, this is going to be a long-term storytelling, and we're going to see some more on Tuesday.
Yes.
Then we get Moose and Scott D'Amore. Moose talking about there's going to be a funeral on Tuesday, that EC3 promised that he was going to bury his belt. Scott tells him that there's no such thing as funerals for inanimate objects, and he needs to wrestle. He hasn't been wrestling, so he says you're going to be wrestling Trey Miguel later.
Yes,
that's pretty much it for that. Then we go into the Beat Rohit challenge. Rohit has an open challenge for the X Division Championship, and Willie Mack answers the call.
Rohit's just an ass. Like, I don't know, but I love it though. I love it. I love when he smiles. I like the sly smile. I'm kind of here for the whole situation, the whole storyline. So I'm definitely there for it. I don't know how far this is gonna take him. How far he can actually run away from the opposition.
Yeah, I kind of hope that they do some Eddie Guerrero stuff where he makes the other people get disqualified for not even cheating, but just selling it to the ref.
Yeah.
I think that would be great. I like what they're doing with Rohit. I know when we first got back into Impact, they were playing Rohit like this guy that was looking for a friend. He even went to Johnny Swinger. He went to a bunch of different people, and everybody just kept on dismissing him. So it's cool how his character's actually growing into now being a champion.
Yeah.
And a champion that's pretending to be like a fighting champion, even though he finds ways to get out of the matches. I like this character build.
Yeah.
I do hope Rohit keeps the belt for a while. I want him to actually start getting some wins and stuff like that too.
Yeah, definitely. I want him to gradually, well, like you had mentioned, the whole like Eddie Guerrero type, like if he's really going to play this whole role, I wanted to see him actually go for the distance and like hit himself with something and then play possum on the floor. Because he has that character to play that, like pull that off. And I think it'd be interesting to see him do that. So I would really hope that actually happens.
Yeah, I could see him being a one of those cheat to win kind of heels.
Oh yeah, definitely, totally agree.
So then we go to Neil Dashwood versus Jordan Grace. This was the rubber match. Caleb with a K comes out, and his coffee mug actually has Caleb spelled with a C. So that barista probably got an earful.
I hate you. It was a good match. The girls were heavy hitting. There was a lot of reversals. Tenille just looked really good. Like I was mentioning to when we were watching it, it didn't look like she had a lot of ring rust. She was it was good. They definitely knew how to book her when she came back in, and Jordan Grace definitely helps to make her shine. And Jordan Grace herself looks amazing. We had talked about where does Jordan go after this? And, people are saying her contract is up, and I hope she really doesn't go to a different company. But at this point, what else does she really have to do in Impact? But yeah,
that's the rumor. Rumor is she's WWE bound.
Boo.
But I mean, sometimes rumors are completely wrong, and it's just people wishful thinking. But we'll see. We'll see where they go with it. I think she's important for the Knockouts division. I hope she gets a deal with Impact, and she stays there because she is great. I just think that Impact needs to do something though. If they're going to compete with WWE and AEW, they need partnership with a big TV deal. They need to start upping their game.
Yeah, because I mean, they were late to their own pay-per-view, and this wasn't live. And then the feed was messing up, and people, were getting verbally upset on social media, and it just sucks because like the product is good, like they have the goods, they just need to invest in themselves. And I know it's scary to do so, but if they just trust and believe in their talent, and they see through this whole time period, it's been very difficult for these companies, most of the companies. I think they'll be fine because they deserve it. They deserve a legitimate way to get the product across to your audience. And it seems like we're having issues with Twitch. Some people don't have access in their area. Some people can't even like add it on. So there's all these like hurdles that Impact has that they shouldn't have, because at this point they know they're contenders.
So, if they get a decent deal, they could be competing with AEW and NXT. I think they do have the talent. Their storylines are starting to become something. Like we've said many times, their X division is great. Their tag team division is great. The Knockouts division is great. They just need to focus on their main title. I think the men's singles division, heavyweight division, needs a little bit of help. But other than that, I mean, we've seen what AEW is doing. They're building their whole brand around a tag team. So Impact could build it around their tag team division and their X division and women. Yeah,
I totally agree.
Yep. So Tenille Dashwood beats Jordan Grace. And after that, we go with Heath and Rhino versus Reno Scum on an unsanctioned match.
Yay! I was happy about this one. I totally forgot about this when you told me today. I was already excited just to see the women wrestle today. But then I forgot this was going to be Heath's first unofficial official match. And it was good. They played off the drama so good that he didn't know where his partner was at, what side of the turnbuckle he was at. He was disorientated. He had ring rust. And, when was the last time we saw him wrestle? Like, is he going to, not be there for Rhino and cost them the match. And it was a lot of drama. It was a lot of drama for, for a guys match.
They did play off on the fact that Heath was trying to impress the Impact people. Like he was overdoing it to a point where he was about to cost the match to his team. He was trying to do too much. They did talk about his ring rust, but at the end, Keith tagged himself in, gets the win, and he goes backstage with Rhino. They're celebrating, they're hugging. It was a feel good moment.
Yeah,
and we get a moment where they actually tell him, like, hey, come back Tuesday, we're gonna talk. So there might be a contract in Heath's future. Rhino's super excited for it. Again, another good tag team to add to their division. It's a very, very strong division, and in Bound for Glory, 4 of those teams are going to meet, and I think that match has the potential to be one of the top matches of the night.
Yeah, totally agree.
So then we go with Moose versus Trey Miguel. Pretty much Moose is just squashing Trey in this one. He's beating the crap out of him. Not selling any of the offense that Trey does.
No.
Until EC3 distracts Moose.
Yeah, I was actually really mad because, like, once again, Rascals, like Trey. I was really happy that there was an upset. And Trey pulls it out. He beats Moose. And I literally was like, totally popped for him. And and not to say I just I'm not really a big Moose fan, but I just like the fact that this is the type of storytelling I like, because you don't have to always make the loss and wins believable. Okay, maybe Trey didn't really beat him, but he took advantage of an opportunity to take him off guard and get the win, and it still counts. Trey still found a weakness, and that was in his distraction. And yes, it was an untitled match. We still know he's the champion, but it gives Trey a good look.
Yeah.
It rubs him the right way. You know what I mean?
Moose title doesn't count. Even Scott told him, like, that thing doesn't count. But like you said, like, it doesn't hurt Moose.
No.
Moose still looks like a real threat. And it just sets it up for him and EC3 to fight for that. I guess, what is it, an unsanctioned title on the TNA title, which it's kind of like telling of what Impact is doing, because the TNA title is the last thing they have that remains from TNA. They're trying to move far away from the TNA name, trying to move away from all the embarrassment that TNA did. And it's like this story is EC3 pretty much being the redemption of Impact and getting away from the past and giving way for a better future. Yeah,
I'm still sticking to the point that this is probably one of my highlighted matches, because people are so against champions losing sometimes, like the big ones, the ones that count. Like, I'm not talking about like tag team champions, things like that, where like we see like Shinsuke and Cesaro getting beat every week and you lose legitimacy. They really built up this match. Everybody thought Trey was not going to win. Like, he was just underdog. Like, they just threw his name in there like he had no chance. And then there was the upset. So I feel like that's actually a really big thing that they played on that a lot of other companies choose not to do. So I just want to hats off to Impact on that.
Yep. So then we get, speaking of tag teams, Ace Austin versus Josh Alexander, Carl Anderson, and Alex Shelby. So these guys are going to represent their teams. Ace Austin is, of course, representing Ace Austin and Madman Fulton. Josh Alexander, the North. Carl Anderson, the Good Brothers. And Alex Shelley, the Motor City Machine Guns. There was a lot of chaos going on because their tag partners were on the outside. And then the referee decides, you know what, this is too much. So they actually clear out the outside, tell everybody they need to leave. So then we finally focus on the 4 that are in this match. Josh Alexander actually looked strong in this match. I think all of them did. They did a really good job. But there's so many little storylines being told between this. If you guys remember, or if you haven't watched Impact and this is your first time coming back to it, Ace Austin tagged himself in when Josh Alexander was going to pin Alex Shelley, the tag team champions, and pretty much took the win. And then they started bragging that they're the ones that pinned the champions. So Josh Alexander had a bone to pick with him.
Yep.
Carl Anderson is the Machine Gun Carl Anderson, and he feels that he's being disrespected by the Motor City Machine Guns because they don't want to hear his stories. He's just an old man that wants to tell stories, and the Motor City Machine Guns don't give him respect.
Yeah, they want the locker room respect.
Yeah. So there's these inner stories within the match, and it was just good back and forth. Josh Alexander pins Alex Shelley. And then we get Ethan Page running out like he won the Super Bowl.
My highlight of the night, the way he comes out and celebrates because he's crazy. If you guys have not seen his Karate Man trailer, if you guys have not seen his Karate Man trailer, please go see that man's stupid trailer. I want a full-length film. The guy's ridiculous. I think Ethan Page, as people have been saying tonight on Twitter, just for that little clip of him acting like a child, is that he is probably one of the most underestimated, underrated, underappreciated people in the wrestling business right now. And the indies are really making him shine too. Yeah. So if you guys haven't caught some of the stuff that he's been doing at Black Label Pro, just please do that. Just do that. Go do that. Yeah. It's good stuff.
Yep. So that was a good moment that sets up for Bound for Glory. This was an Impact Plus special, so I think it was all just to set up for the Bound for Glory. So then we get Brian Myers and Tommy Dreamer in the back. Tommy Dreamer comes out and tells Brian Myers that he respects him and that he's proud of him. And Brian Myers just looks at him and says, "You're not who you used to be.
Yeah,
I wanted the violent Tommy Dreamer, and I'm just getting like the grandpa version of Tommy Dreamer." So
get a time machine, Brian Myers. Be professional and go get a time machine.
So Tommy Dreamer pretty much tells him that you are going to get the violent Tommy Dreamer on Tuesday, and I hope he's ready for it. I think Tuesday is going to be a better match. Because like the match they had today was okay, but
but it's not a Tommy Dreamer match. Where's the trash cans at?
It was missing that extra Tommy Dreamer part to it.
Because he's always smashing people in the head with a trash can.
The kendo sticks and everything.
Yeah, if I don't get a trash can and a kendo stick on Tuesday, I'm going to be mad.
Yep. So then we go to the Impact Knockouts Championship match. Deonna Purrazzo comes out with Kimberly, and Susie comes out with Kylie Ray. I really wanted Su Yung in this match.
We get a little bit of
glimpses, but
what the hell is that move? Okay, so guys, like I've seen a little bit of Susie thanks to Effie, the brilliant Effie out there. I've seen some matches watching Monday Not Raw, which you can watch on Monday instead of Raw.
Yep, on Twitch.com, Effie lives.
Yes, but that turnbuckle thing where she looks like a spider. She's doing the spider walk.
Yeah.
Thing. I was like, that is crazy. She's such a good wrestler. I love her. I want to see her go crazy and do the Halloween thing and be all nuts and be the undead bride.
Yep.
And I'm just so here for it. This match was so good. She gets out of Deonna Purrazzo's arm lock like 3 times, I think it was.
Yep. Yeah.
She reversed it. She looked amazing. There's parts where she steps up like the doll she is, like when she went through the the ropes and flies out. And it's like she plays on her character that she's this really cute girl that I know my friend would love to see her little outfit. But she's so super cute. But it's just, I don't know. Susie, like when I went back to Impact, besides her and Kylie, like she really drew me to the women's division. Like, of course, Taya's amazing, and Tasha Steele's everybody else, but Susie's character is just spot on. It's something that I probably would envision to myself if I was a wrestler.
Susie grew on me. In the beginning, I just wanted Su Yung because I've been a Su Yung fan. Just seeing some of the Undead Bride stuff that she does. Her rivalry with Rosemary is probably one of the best knockout division rivalries that they've had. But like she grew on me. She's
so good.
She's brought this demented, sweet looking woman just wanting to say hi to everybody. Like she's like Kylie Ray's niceness, but added to like The Exorcist.
It's like, how like everybody like Liv and Alexa try to play on like the Harley Quinn persona, or even like the Sister Abigail, like they're making it with Alexa right now, but the way Susie does it it's so subtle. It's like she is the edible doll. She is that creepy doll in your corner, just life size.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't.
Alexa, I think, is doing a good job with her
Yeah,
character too.
no, she is. If they allow her to kind of breed into character, I think that's probably gonna be one of the best character developments that we're gonna have at the end of the year for WWE too. But I really, really, really enjoy what Susie's doing. I would hate to say if we didn't get the payoff for it, especially for our spooky months of Halloween.
Yeah.
I would be upset. But if she's waiting for a particular moment to do this, you know what I mean? Like, I trust her development in the character, but I know I'm gonna be like, you're gonna just see me going like this when we come back for Bound for Glory if she comes out. So I'm gonna stop because I'm totally marking out for her.
No, I think it is setting up. It's setting up for it because Madison did say, like, we don't know when we'll see Susie again.
Yeah.
So I think for the next 3 weeks, we're not going to see Susie. I think that she's going to replay the beating that her and Kylie took after the match. So Deonna Purrazzo does retain. After the match, Deonna Purrazzo and Kimberly Lee punish Susie and Kylie Ray. Like, they hold Kylie Ray and make her look at them beat Susie with a chair. Susie is crying at the end. And I think it's setting up for Su Yung to just take over again. I think that in Bound for Glory, I think Kimberly and Deonna Purrazzo are going to be beating up Kylie, and I think Su Young's going to come out. But I don't think Su Young's going to be able to control herself. So if Kylie even wins the belt, I think Su Young's just going to go and take out all of them.
Yeah. I mean, if not that, there's something's going to happen where it's going to be between her and Kylie. I think there's going to be a story development between those two. And that's going to be amazing to see.
Kylie's going to try to bring Susie back, try to get Susie to take over control again of, I guess we could call it the vessel.
Yeah, we can do a broken Matt Hardy reference here. That works. But yeah, no, this was
so
definitely,
it's gonna be interesting.
It was definitely one of another amazing women's match that they had. Impact just does a good job with showcasing their women.
But I think, and somebody could correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the difference between when you have women in the creative part of wrestling, like, and that's what Impact does. They have what's her name? I can't even think of her name right now. Gail Kim. She is a producer, and I think she's involved.
She still is?
I think so.
I mean,
she's involved in the creative process of their division, and I think that the other two companies that we know of, they do not really have women in the creative controls.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely. And especially you had to have the creative women that want to be there. You know what I mean? It goes back to any aspect of life. If you love something, it shows in what you create, instead of forcing people who are not really in the role to do something.
Or also just having somebody that has no skin in the game and actually just wants the division to grow. Because if you have somebody that's a part of the division, they're going to want to put themselves in situations where they might not be the best person for it.
Yeah, true. But great match. Loved the ending. The ending was dynamic. It was heartbreaking to hear Susie, tapping out. So sad. I'm like, no, Susie. But yeah, she definitely calls for it. But yeah, it sends us right into the last match of the night.
Yep. So the whole night we were told that Rich Swann's going to face the winner of this match. It's the Impact Championship, Eric Young versus the ex-champion, Eddie Edwards. This match was really hardcore. I think that they did a disservice to it because they only had 1 week's build. They're focusing more on the Rich Swann, Eric Young build.
Boo.
But I think that this match, if they would have given it a little bit more time, especially since it was Eric Young that did the pile driver on Eddie Edwards and almost did the pile driver on Eddie Edwards' wife, it would have been a little bit more dramatic. But I mean, this is just two wrestlers that have had a long history with Impact, and they represented their brand.
Yeah, I totally I dig it. Like you said, I wasn't too invested in it. I felt like I was I went from like here with the women, and I kind of like was kind of coming down from it because the energy wasn't the same. And not to say these guys didn't have a good match the first time they fought too. It's just that, knowing that this was a filler match to get to the Rich Swann match is kind of like for me. And then seeing him come out actually irked me in even more. Didn't sell his injury. It just was one of those things where it's like, I'm not really cool with him. Another individual like Moose, I don't like him a little bit outside of wrestling. I try to separate the two, but it's very hard when you don't agree with things that they do. So it's hard for me to actually support this whole thing. I think it's a waste of opportunity. I don't think he's that engaging with the audience. I don't think he delivers well in his promos in ring or outside of ring. And I feel like if this is going to be the end of the card, that I hope there's some interference by somebody we don't know at the end, because it's going to be a very to what could be an amazing card.
Well, I think maybe they do the Deonna Purrazzo, Kylie Ray as the main event. I think there's more.
I hope so. I hope so.
Around that.
If they give that to the women, I will once again be tooting a major horn for Impact, because I hope they don't go the side of the men, because it's gonna be a decent match because Eric Young's talented. It's just I feel like people are gonna be more invested to see if Susie does come out, to see if Susie comes out, if Kylie needs her, to see if she switches, and having that impacting moment at the end where she switches to Su Yung would be a great lasting for Bound for Glory. So.
Yeah, that could be the go away part. I think that's better. I think honestly, I think Eric Young's going to retain against Rich Swann anyways.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's just trying to spill the. I would have been more invested if it was like Eric Young versus EC3.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what they were thinking with that.
That could be potentially the next rivalry that they get there.
I hope. But yeah, that was a pretty quick card. I don't know if a lot of people watched it. It was, something you had to pay for. And
and not too many people watch this because you have to go through Impact Plus. So
yeah, and it's a filler. It's a filler pay-per-view leading up to Bound for Glory. So we will be back with. Are we going to do NXT? We gonna do NXT? Maybe we'll do NXT.
Yeah, we're doing NXT tomorrow. Yep.
Yeah. Cross said he'll be watching tomorrow. So I wish he would have never gotten hurt. Yeah, I was so excited. I was so there for I would have tuned in every week. I would have been doing dual screens of AEW and NXT just to watch Cross.
For the few viewers that we do have on right now, and the people that might watch this later, if you see this before tomorrow's NXT, keep an eye open, because Tessa has been hanging out with the NXT talent, so we might get a surprise appearance tomorrow.
That would be insane. Insane. They're going to get those ratings if she shows up.
Yep.
Those ratings will go up for NXT, and they need it right now.
I could see that actually. Oh, your camera's on.
There you go. I got it.
Yeah, I could see that happening because Io Shirai needs somebody to elevate her for another big storyline. And honestly, Io Shirai versus Tessa would sell. Like it's
Io Shirai versus, Tessa versus any of them. Rhea Ripley, Dakota.
Yep. So I will be interested. I might not see it. It might not happen, but from what I've been judging on social media, I am going to keep my hopes up on that. Yeah,
definitely. Hey, Matt. Good evening to you too. We're wrapping up our Impact stream, but we'll be back tomorrow with NXT. We're doing a little streaming on Twitch on Mondays and Fridays, some gaming while we watch WWE.
There might be some in-between stuff too.
Whenever
we get a chance.
Yeah, we're going to try playing some little bit more games in between things, probably like Among Us. And I've been playing Avengers games and things like that, talking wrestling. Yep. But we're back every Tuesday and Wednesday for Impact and AEW. And
Yep. All right. Well,
wait, hold on. What is I think we got one more. Let's see what we got. The cards. It might get interesting tomorrow. So yeah. I'm definitely here for it.
Adam Cole. This could be Adam Cole's go away match. Handing over the reins to O'Reilly in NXT. No, I'm saying like Cole to the main roster, because there's not much.
We have
not much room to NXT.
Well, no, it's Finn Balor versus O'Reilly. Then it's Io Shirai versus Candice. We have Damian Priest versus Johnny Gargano. Santos Escobar versus Isaiah Swerve Scott. Kushida versus that one guy I don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
No, it's cool. That's my only problem with watching it tomorrow is I can't do Velveteen Dream, but I'm going to watch it because I actually want to support Kushida.
Yeah.
Like I have to watch for him because we both loved him.
Yeah, I haven't been keeping up with NXT, like, but yeah, I'm waiting for Cole to be called up. There's not much for him to do in NXT, and I wonder when that will be. I wonder if Triple H is holding on to him with his dear life, not wanting him to go up.
I mean, I would.
We've seen what happens to call-ups. They don't really do too much with them.
No, yeah, and I mean, look where Finn Balor's at now.
And I mean, Keith Lee had a great debut, but I don't know what they're doing with him right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like everything got so weird when Cross got injured and he vacated that title, and it felt like it was all too quick. And then if he would have never done that, vacated that title, I don't know where things would be right now. I mean, yeah, we had some great matches with Keith Lee going up, but I feel like
you're talking about the North American title, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just I don't know. It was just weird. And then, like I said, seeing Cross come the next week, and the injury was so evident. Remember when it happened? I was like, dude, I think his shoulder's gone.
Yeah.
And it was heartbreaking to see Cross get hurt. Because he had a perfect rise. Yeah, like he had some good matches, and that match was good.
He should be coming back though.
I don't know. Like I said, he said he's going to be watching, but he said he was going to be out for a little bit. I don't know how long's a little.
Because I thought it was a rotator cuff, right?
I don't know. Makes me sad still.
So I'm thinking we'll probably see him in November, December.
Hopefully.
Because I don't know if it was.
Yeah, because they didn't really say. I thought it was like 6 to 8 weeks. Somebody had mentioned, but I mean that's like with all.
Yeah, the Cody Brody Lee match is going to be interesting. Dog collar.
Cody had put up a picture of his dad in a match.
Yeah, because I mean, Dustin is known for his outlandish matches that he would sometimes put himself through. But I'm conflicted with that match. In part, I don't want Brody Lee to lose it because I think the Dark Order needs the belt. But Cody elevated that belt, challenging every week, bringing up independent wrestlers to challenge for it. So
I just feel like if he loses,
conflicted.
Yeah, if he loses, it's going to be a squash not only for him, but I feel like for Anna Jay too. I feel like that whole dynamic of the Dark Order will be impacted unless there's a way he can lose or win that still makes them look strong, like interferences or something like that. But then I also don't like how Cody's coming out very heelish, very full of himself. Mm-hmm. And usually he does, but just the dark hair look and everything like that, blah, blah. Yeah, I kind of want Brody to keep it. Like,
yeah, I go back and forth with it because, like you said, I don't want Brody to lose it because I know if Brody loses it, that's it for the Dark Order. It's going to be really hard for them to bounce back from that.
Yeah, but like you said, Cody, I mean, Warhorse, Sunny Kiss, like we had great matches when he defended it too. So it's hard.
Yeah.
Hard to say the least, to say who you want for that one. But yeah, I'm there for it.
Yep.
There for Jericho's shenanigans too.
I can't believe Jericho 30 years already.
No, I could believe it. You've seen that guy? The orange. when OC, that's what happened when OC pushed him into the orange juice vat. He went down like the Joker and freaking Terminator.
Yeah, he's been drinking too much bubbly, that's for sure.
Yeah, the guy needs to stop doing concerts.
But
take care of yourself.
I'll give him one thing though. He's building stars around him. I mean, he made Isaiah look great. And
did he do a moonsault too?
Yeah.
The asshole flew up a moonsault. Like I was like, did he just do?
Yeah.
Because I can't remember. I think he might have done it with Mox, but I think it's like the last time I saw him do it in Revolution.
Yeah.
I think it might have been the last time I seen him pull out those moves. I don't remember the last time he's done that.
It's like you look at him and you're like, man, you shouldn't be there. But then when you actually look at the matches and you see how he's building up talent, which is what veterans should be doing, is build up the next batch of talent. He has single-handedly set up AEW for the future. I mean, look at what he's doing with MJF. he's setting up MJF.
That's so good.
What he did with Jungle Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, without Jericho, I don't know where AEW would be. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm also here for every moment of MJF trying to infiltrate and destroy the inner circle. It was just so good. Right?
Yeah. I mean, he always puts himself through some crap. Like, honestly, I even like the Orange Cassidy Jericho match where before the Mimosa challenge or whatever.
Yeah.
Like when they set up where Orange Cassidy was bleeding from his ear, it just looked like they were both stars.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, he pulls magic, man. That's
OC
why
300 disaster, the way he pushed him in though.
Yeah, that's why he's the demo god.
He really is. Like, I mean, everything he does is golden. I mean, it's really hard to, he can say and do some stupid things that a lot of people don't agree with, and he gets himself in trouble, but you can't deny the fact that he's probably one of the most influential wrestlers of the last 30 years. Yeah. Every character he made, every turn he took, heel, face, in-betweener, he was everything that everybody always wanted to be, and he did it like without hesitation, so much ease. It's just, I don't know, he's just a superstar. And he makes people superstars too, and that's when you have something that's special.
Yeah.
So uncomfortable.
I mean, he beat those allegations through a technicality, which makes it even more uncomfortable. Sicker. Yeah. So I guess in Florida, as long as you're 23, and if the person is 17, or you have to be 23 or younger, and I guess you could be with a 17-year-old. So it's not illegal in Florida. So due to that technicality, that's why he did not get fired from WWE.
Yeah, there was like some affidavit they put up through a lawyer or something, and we were like reading it. I'm like, Yeah. So he went through a loophole. It's not even like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's why I'm just like, once again, I'm gonna watch it for Kushida, but I swear to God, if he wins.
But you know what? If they're trying to get Okada, they're gonna push Kushida.
You know, that's true though, but I have no faith in them at this point because he's on a card. Like, nobody wants to see them. Like, literally. Yeah. I bet you any money ratings is gonna drop. Yeah. It dropped last time he came on.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the fans clearly actually have the power to do something, and they're not happy with that one at all. But we will see where this takes us tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad place.
All right, everybody. Thank you. And well, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.